Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new SEGA News Bits. I'm your host, George. With me is Barry.
Hello.
And today we'll be talking about the Nintendo Switch. Well, at least what SEGA and Atlus talked about supporting the console. SEGA, there's not really that much. I mean, we know that Sonic Project 2017 is coming. And this is what SEGA said. SEGA and Nintendo have been great partners over the years, and we continue to with our support for the Nintendo Switch. We look forward to revealing specific game plans soon, but have nothing further to announce at this time. And Atlus said, we're excited to be supporting the Nintendo Switch and believe games we publish are a perfect fit for the portable nature of the console. And if you guys haven't heard of the Switch, it's the NX, we're calling it the Switch. And it's supposed to let you be a portable console and a actual console with a dock. There's not a lot of info cut out yet on the Switch, so we don't really know everything, all the details. If it's even, I even want to buy it, I don't even know.
Right.
I don't even know the pricing.
If you're learning about the Nintendo Switch right now from this video, I don't know what rock you've been hiding under, but
yeah, it's been all over the place. They even released a super sweet trailer where it's really unrealistic expectations of American life.
What are you talking about? I have a rooftop loft, and my friends wave at me out the window, and they're like, "Barry, come over," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'd love to have drinks with you guys, but let me bring Mario."
Yeah, I know. You're like, "Oh, fucking Barry, what? Oh, Barry's gonna bring his fucking Mario game over again."
I'm sorry.
Like he's fucking playing video games at his house, and he comes to our party to socialize while he's playing video games.
That guy playing Zelda and his dog wants to go outside. Like, those people don't exist. Those types of people are like, "Oh, my dog wants to go outside. Let me turn off a video game and be an adult for a few minutes."
And not anymore. You don't have to be an adult, dude. You can just switch off. That's why it's called the Switch.
So what do you think of the Switch? What's your personal opinion on it as a SEGA fan?
As a SEGA fan, I think I would have been crazy. Like, I always imagined this was going to be the future of SEGA. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, when I saw the VMU, I'm like, oh, imagine if you could have an actual Dreamcast that you take with you everywhere. Wouldn't that be amazing? And then you just hook it up to your TV, and then you could go to school, and then you play with your friends. But I'm not in school anymore, and none of my friends play games, really, so I don't think it's for me, really.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it would depend on the games. Like, if it gets a lot of Japanese game support, I'll probably jump on it. But if it doesn't really get if it only gets ports like the Wii U, I think I'm gonna have to skip this one.
Well, as a Wii U owner, I feel pretty burned by Nintendo, so I'm not going to fall for their tricks again. It will take a very big exclusive for me to come on board for this. It was Bayonetta 2 with the Wii U, and it's going to have to be something big for this one. I can't imagine there being a big exclusive SEGA game on the Switch, but they might prove us wrong.
Do you think SEGA should even support the game with an exclusive title?
Not anymore.
I mean, the console?
No, I feel like the past Nintendo exclusives that they did were necessary just because of how different the hardware was. I mean, you can see with Unleashed on the Wii, they had to make a different version of the game.
Yeah.
And when you look at the controllers that the Wii and the Wii U used, Sega, they went out of their way to create games that utilize those things. And I think that just speaks to Sega just as an innovator. Even though they're not making hardware anymore, when a company comes out with something, as much as people hate on the Kinect and hate on the Wii and the Wii U, at least Sega tried. They made games that utilized the control schemes. Some of the best Kinect games are from Sega. But with this, there's nothing about the Nintendo Switch that screams to me, oh, someone's got to make an exclusive game that utilizes XYZ. I mean, you look at mobile games for the Vita, a lot of those are cross-platform with the PS3 and PS4.
I think the biggest aspect of this is like, I'm kind of tired of the 3DS in a way. Like, I feel like the games haven't aged that well graphically. So I feel like it's pretty cool to have a game that's going to be running in HD mobilely. Even if it sells a lot as a handheld because of Pokemon,
right?
It would be pretty cool to have like a new 7th Dragon or a new Shin Megami Tensei game on here.
Right, and speaking of 7th Dragon, I wrote an article for the site, for segabits.com, you can search over there, and it was just me kind of writing my thoughts on the Nintendo Switch, which kind of echo what I was saying here. I was wondering, George, what are your thoughts on the fact that the Nintendo Switch kind of Well, it not kind of, it is kind of doing away with handheld video games in the sense that you're not going to see a game developed in the same way that Seventh Dragon 3 or Rhythm Thief has been developed.
It's kind of sad, but I think Nintendo crunched the numbers internally and figured out, like, we're not going to survive another handheld-only game. Like, handhelds do really well in Japan. I think in America they might be dropping. I think they get a little bit of spikes with Monster Hunter or, like, whatever game comes out, like Pokemon. But I think overall the 3DS sold way less than the DS. I think they see this trend that more of the mainstream audience are just buying mobile phones. So they're trying to, like, oh, you buy one console and you have everything Nintendo. You don't have to worry about it. I think that's good for your fan base, but I don't know. It's a really risky move if you think about it. They're really killing that market that they had a strong foothold in.
Right. I mean, there still might be developers who can't afford to make games on the level of, Switch or PS4 or even Xbox One, that will continue to make 3DS games as long as they can. For example, you're not going to see those like touch babies, touch pets. Those games are not going to transition.
No, and that's funny because Nintendo really has gone the other way of their like philosophies and consoles. Like the 3DS and the Wii were really focused on low development costs, like cheap games, get them out and just make them good. If they're good games, people will buy them.
Right.
This seems to be like, oh, now we're bringing it to H3D, all of them, even the handheld. So it's like more development costs, I would assume, for the Switch.
For sure.
Plus, we don't even know how much it costs. I think the Wii U went like totally different from Nintendo. Nintendo usually has cheap consoles and they make their money on the software. The Wii U is still $350. So, I mean, that's all I have to say about the Switch. What do you have to say?
I guess, the battery life for the mobile experience and the price are the big deciding factors. If they say, hey, this thing can run for 6 to 8 hours with a full battery and it's priced at $200, I think that would be amazing, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I have a feeling that it's going to be something like $300 for the handheld and maybe something extra for the dock unit. I have a feeling they're going to sell them separately. And there's rumors that the dock unit has its own power, so it's like half a console and half handheld. So like the games run weaker when you're in handheld mode and when you're in dock mode. That's one of the rumors. So that could happen. But anybody listening to this, let us know what you think of the Nintendo Switch, what you want to see Atlus and Sega release for the console. And do you like the whole handheld and console switcheroo? Let us know.
Do you like Sega? Do you want Sega news? Visit SegaBits.com and don't forget to visit us on all of our major social networks.